Welcome back. Now, today I'm going to be doing a Boston bun, family favourite of ours, and I thought I would share it with you guys. So I've already put the recipe up there at the start, so we'll get straight into it. So, going to add our flour. We're going to mix all the dry ingredients together except for the yeast for now. What I'm going to do, I'll just chuck all these dry ingredients in, then I'm going to just add some yeast to the warm water and a little bit of the juices I've been soaking the dried fruit in. That's all our spices. And a bread improver, salt, and a bit of caster sugar. Now, this isn't necessary to do, but it's not a bad way. Just making sure that you're now need to add 3/4, so what I'll add a bit of warm water first. That'll do. Right. The idea here is just to make sure that the yeast actually activates. Just doesn't take too long. Now, it's not a necessary step to soak your fruit, but I find that it helps later on because the fruit's dry. You add dry ingredients to your dough mix and it will dry your dough out a bit more. So we're going to mix the dry ingredients through and sieve at the same time. It's a lovely little present Trace bought me for Christmas. It's I'm trying to think where she got it from. I think it was Chef Essentials or something. But yeah, it's great having the mixer inside. I remember having one. Mum had one years ago when I was a kid, and yeah, they just work. Now I can already smell the spices in the flour, and it already smells good. Now you can already see there, I don't know if the camera's picking that up there, how that's already starting to foam. So I'm fairly confident that's a pretty good brew there. So what I can do is I can add that straight to into there. I'll try and get the rest of the yeast out here that lumped at the bottom. There we go. A little bit of, as if for preparation, bit of butter. No worries it being soft today, that's for sure. Alright, that's in. And we'll just bring that all together in the bowl. Now I've already started my fire. I got that going about 20 minutes ago. I'm not after a big fire today. It's a bit of a warmer day, sort of late afternoon, so I want to have enough there just to get this cooked. This will take roughly 20 minutes, 25 minutes to cook, so don't need a massive amount of coals to get there. What I'll do is I'll just chuck a bit of flour down here while the wind ain't blowing. And we just got to knead away. Now you notice I haven't put the fruit in yet. If you put it in too early, all you're going to do is just squash it all up and make a mess. So the idea is just knead this all together until you get a nice smooth dough. Then you chuck your fruit in at the end and just knead it enough to incorporate. This is the most important part of the whole process, is this kneading. If you don't develop it, it won't work. And you'll know when it starts to work because the dough will start to get a lot. Like as you see at the moment, it's still sort of breaking apart. That's not good enough. I'll tell you what, these old Bunnings tables are quite good for this sort of thing. They're just like a massive breadboard. Very easy to clean. Now this is quite a nice soft dough at the moment, and as you'll see, it's not actually sticking to my hands. The more that I'm working it, the more it's starting to develop. As I said in the last video, just a little bit of a workout beforehand, you feel a little bit less guilty about enjoying a piece of this or two. So that's starting to come together really good. I'm quite happy with that. Maybe another minute or so. Okay, so it's time to add the fruit. Now you're going to have to use a bit more flour as this goes, especially because I've had it all soaking. Now being on a sheep farm, if any of these raisins and that fall on the ground, I just leave them there. You just never know what you're going to pick up instead. There we have it. So I'm going to let this prove for the first time. I'm going to give it about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and it's more to let it rest and just get that yeast doing its job. And pretty warm day out here. It's about 30 degrees out here at the moment. In the shade. Bowl over the top like this should be fine. You're looking at about, ideally you'd like about a 33 degree environment for your prove. So I'll leave that and we'll come back to it. Alrighty, so this has been sitting for about 15-20 minutes. See, she has increased in size a bit. So now all I need to do, I've greased a 20 centimetre cake tin, bit of baking paper in the bottom. Get and yeah, so I'm just going to chuck this in here, and all the goody bits there. I just want to press it down, not too much, but I just want to press it out into the tin a bit. So this recipe up to this stage is pretty much exactly the same as if I was making a fruit loaf, which once again is absolutely sensational as a bit of toast and honey in the morning. Coffee, beautiful. And that there is ready for its second proof. So I'll sit it in the sun a bit. And we'll give that a half an hour, and I'll come back and check it. It's cooled off a little bit, so it might need another 10 minutes on top of that, but we'll see how she goes. Just wait until it doubles in size, then she'll be ready for the oven. Now this is a good time now, in this half-hour period, to get your fire sorted, get your camp oven. Just place your camp oven, near the fire source, get it up to heat. That way a lot of that residual heat's going to be in there, so you're not, you wouldn't chuck this straight into your oven in the house unless you're preheated, so you've got to do exactly the same with your camp oven when you're cooking. But yeah, I'll check back.
That's good.
So anyway, that'll preheat there for 5-10 minutes. I'll show you a little trick that I like to do. Bit of paper. When you don't have yourself any fandangled temperature gauges, that little bit of paper can tell you roughly what temperature you're looking for. Yeah, so for this particular cook, we're looking at about 190 to 200 degrees. So that bit of paper in there should be like a darkish yellow, sort of dark brown. That's going to give us that sort of rough 200 degree temperature range. So I'll leave that in there for 2 or 3 minutes. I'll have a look and I'll just see where it's at. Alright, so let's have a look. As you can see, nice dark brown. That there is ready for our bun. It has doubled in size, filled out in the edges. That is ready to go. That paper can stay there. Now I'm tipping this won't take much more than 15 minutes. What I'll do is after about 8 or 9 minutes, I'll just rotate that camp oven around 180 degrees, just in case there's a couple of hot spots underneath. And I'll even do the same with the lid. I'll just sort of turn the lid around a bit as well. And yeah, I'll do an inspection halfway through. 12-13 minutes has passed. She's a little bit hot. I've removed a fair bit off the top already. I don't think it's going to blacken her off anymore. And so you can't get it right every time, but she'll still be all right. So anyway, what I've done now, I decided to take it off the coals. There's enough residual heat in that oven to finish it off. Heat's pretty well spot on underneath. I was just a little bit hot on the top, so it's look, I reckon another 2 or 3 minutes should be right. So, only problem with these is trying to do it all one-handed. Now in the camera it does look well done, but it's not too bad. That's passable. Not my best efforts, not my worst. Guaranteed not my worst. Alright, so I'll chuck her out on this. It's warm. Alright. Sounds nice, and it's always going to be a little bit more dense than like a loaf of bread because you've got a fair bit of fruit in there, but that's good. That's absolutely passable. The tiniest little bit of darkness on top there, but it's still very soft. I can see around the sides there. When you actually cook it in the cake tin, it allows it a bit more room to spread out. As I say, this is the exact same recipe that I would make a fruit loaf out of, and the only difference is I make it in a bread tin, and it'll have a completely different crumb to it. It'll be a perfect toast loaf. But anyway, I'll let this cool, then I'll make up the icing for it, and we'll finish it off. But yeah, that'll work well. So, time for some icing. Now, I've already chucked the icing sugar in. The butter of choice I use for this is Fairy margarine, cooking margarine. And I just find it works good. It really does replicate what you get at the bakeries. So, I'll chuck a lump of that in. Now I had a bit of lime left over from a couple of drinks I'd had, so I'm going to squeeze that in there as well, just for good measure, because I love lime, I really do. And a bit of vanilla essence extract. Oh. Let's just use the rest of that, eh? And it's just a matter of beating this together. There you have it. That is good. The great thing with this icing is it covers a lot of sins. Finish off with a bit of coconut that I've just had lightly toasted on the pan. And that there, folks, is my camp oven Boston bun. Can't do it with one hand. There we go. Not a bad spot to have it either. I'll get it off my ugly mug. There we go. So not a bad spot to have it, eh? Since all that rain we had, it's filled up a lot of our dams, and it's a lovely little spot to chill out. So I'd like to thank you all for tuning in, watching the episode. I really appreciate it. I've launched on Facebook and on Instagram now, so please pop over there and check it out. Like, follow, all that other stuff. And by all means, please click the like and the subscribe button on the channel here, and keep an eye out for further episodes I've got going in the making. Until next time, see you later.